welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to the channel, guys, for yet another big day of Barca news. We are going to be discussing in today's video that ongoing tussle that continues to go on between Barca and Spain over Pedri. We're also going to be talking about the very pressing topic of Lionel Messi's contract as the hours continue to count down before he becomes a free agent. And we are also going to be talking about an incoming signing from Paris Saint-Germain. No, it's not Neymar, but it is an exciting 18-year-old youngster who will be returning to this club. We're going to be discussing all of that and some more. So, let's get to it. Today's video is indeed coming to you courtesy of the One Football app. Of course, when there's big news breaking, there is only one place to turn. Well, obviously, aside from the channel, because along with me, you guys there want to check out everything that is going on the One Football app to stay very much updated with all the breaking Barcelona news and, of course, everything going on this summer from the international tournament. So please go and download that now if you do want to stay very much in the know. That will be much appreciated. But if we do move on to the Barca news, and I want to start actually very similar to what we did yesterday. We discussed the pre-season to come now as the new season gets closer, and today the La Liga fixtures for next season, they've been officially announced. What we can see here is that on the opening weekend of the new season, Barca have a tricky game, it has to be said there. We are at home, playing there at the Camp Nou, and hopefully, of course, we'll be in front of a few fans as well. We're going to be coming up against Real Sociedad. Real Madrid there will travel to Deportivo Alaves, and the reigning champions, of course, Atletico Madrid, will head to Balaidos to start their season, which is a very, very exciting opening weekend. And of course, as well, the big fixtures to look forward to have as well been announced. You can see there that Barca will travel to the Wanda Metropolitano. That's going to happen there on the 3rd of October, and Atleti will be visiting the Camp Nou there for the return fixture on the 6th of February in 2022. In terms of the Clásicos, that there has been set, the first one coming at the Camp Nou. That's going to be on the 24th of October, with the reverse fixture coming in March on the 20th. So all of that to come. Really looking forward to starting that new season. But indeed, guys, following on from yesterday's video where we did indeed speak about Sergio Busquets and the impact that he's been having at Euro 2020 this summer, he's been very, very important there in Spain's midfield, and that's really good to see ahead of the new season in terms of how he can play at the very top level. And things indeed, when it comes to Busquets, might be about to get even better as well, because as we know this summer, Joan Laporta is very, very keen to sit down with all of Barcelona's highest earners to basically say, look, we need to do something. We need to do something there about your contract. Things can't go on as they have been. It's simply not sustainable. We're in a very, very difficult place financially, and we're going to be putting pressure on these players there to try and take some sort of pay cut. Now, according to Mundo Deportivo, Busquets there is looking to lead by example. Apparently, he is going to be one of the big first names to agree there to a wage reduction. His contract right now is expiring in 2 years' time in 2023, but MDs say that this summer, Busquets is very much willing to sit down to agree to a reduction, and that would be greatly appreciated by Laporta, by the club, and I think I speak for us all when I say us fans too. I also, of course, want to go back to the topic of Pedri. We spoke yesterday about his inclusion in the Spain Olympic squad, of course, which is due to take place this summer after the Euros happen, which will really mean that Pedri is going to be stretched this summer in the amount of football that he's playing. And like I say, Barca were not happy about that. They have spoken with the Spanish Federation, and it's coming out now in the media, just as we said yesterday, that Spain are not really moving on that. But not just that, they have no intention of taking Pedri off that list. They are very, very firm right now. Barca have received a really negative response from the Spanish Federation, and everything right now is pointing to Pedri being involved in the Olympics this summer. And many people have said, okay, is it the end of the world? Because obviously when you look back there at Messi's early career, he too went to the Olympics, and at that time, Barca were very much against it, but he looks back on it with real fondness. But I want to look at that there and say that back in 2008, the club weren't keen on Messi going. It actually took Pep Guardiola Barca to step in and say, you know what, he should go, he deserves to go. Messi went there, won the gold medal, which everybody seems to forget when it's said that he hasn't won anything for his country. He won the Olympic gold, and it was a very special moment for him. He says that's one of the most treasured moments of his career. But the difference here with Messi going to the Olympics, with Pedri going to the Olympics, is that the circumstances for me, they are different. Firstly, it wasn't Messi's first season at the top level. He was actually 21 back then in 2008. Pedri, of course, is only 18. And crucially there, Messi, at that time, wasn't coming off the back of a post-pandemic season. Pedri here has had to play so many games, huge quantity of games, and also in such a short space of time there, putting a lot of pressure on him in his very early days. And of course, Pedri would be going into the Olympics straight off the back of another summer international tournament at the Euros. So for me, yes, there are similarities, but I think in the case of Pedri, it is a lot of football over a short period of time when he has really only just emerged at this level. But of course, guys, speaking of that man indeed, Lionel Messi, it was a long time ago that he went to the Olympics, and fast forward all of those years since, all of that success, but at the end of today, technically, he will no longer be a Barcelona player. If we do not get this contract agreement in place and announced by then, when the clock strikes midnight in Spain, Messi's contract will have expired at Barca, and he will be, unbelievably, a free agent. Now, for me to get my head around that, it is strange to think of Messi being out of contract there, being unattached. He would technically be able, come July the 1st, to talk with any club and agree to sign there immediately for absolutely nothing. But according to Laporta, he was sort of grabbed by a journalist this morning going into the Camp Nou, and the journalist was saying, you know, are you worried about this situation? Are you worried about the fact that if you can't get it done today, Messi is going to be a free agent? But Laporta looked very calm indeed. He said, look, let's be calm here. He said, just stay calm, everything's on track, everything's fine. And Barca seemed very calm about the whole situation, because the fact is, Messi is going to renew. I know a lot of people out there right now are getting nervous. We don't really like this situation where the clock is ticking, where Messi may or may not be here next season, but he is going to be. Although right now it's difficult to get that 100% confirmed because it is such a big and complex contract. But I assure you now, Messi will renew. He will be here next season. And the rumours that are coming out right now, I've heard a lot of things throughout the day talking about a 5-year deal at Barca. You may have heard the same throughout the day. But that 5-year deal that's being reported, it's not all at Barca. Right now it's being reported that just 2 of those years would be at Barca, and the other 3 would be as a global ambassador for the club in the USA, which of course would likely mean that Messi would be playing his football in MLS, with Inter Miami in particular being repeatedly linked over the past few months, which would take Messi there up until his 36th birthday. He would play in the colours of Barca for another 2 years, and I just wonder, guys, what do you think of that? Say Messi does indeed sign that deal for the next 2 years, he's going to be here until he's 36, and then he goes to America. How do you feel about that? For me, I would like a bit more time. Maybe I'm being a bit greedy here when it comes to Messi. Yes, 36 is quite old, but I still feel as though 3 years is possible, maybe even more as you look at it. But I just wonder there maybe if that deal will be assessed as time goes on, depending on how Messi feels. He's one of those players who'll only want to stay and stick around if he feels as though he's at his best and he's giving a lot to the team. But I still feel as though in 2-3 years' time, Messi is still going to have huge quality. But the club right now are being guided by him. But all we need to know is that deal, it is going to happen very soon. I assure you of that. But finally, guys, if I do just bring you that news of our incoming signing from Paris Saint-Germain, it is indeed the 18-year-old French youngster. He turns 19 later on this summer. Kays Ruiz-Atil. He is there, a player right now, currently contracted to PSG until the end of the day. But once that contract expires this summer, on July the 1st, it's fully expected there that he's going to become a Barcelona player. And what he's going to be doing there is returning to the club that he left. back in 2015, because actually there, RuizAtil spent 6 years at La Masia. He actually left not really through a choice of his own. It was all during that time where FIFA had sanctioned Barca in 2015 for the signing there of under 18 players when FIFA tried to make an example of Barcelona. And RuizAtil was one of those players, one of the many talented players there that went to play elsewhere. He went to PSG, and to be fair to him, he has actually made a few appearances there in their first team. Made 7 appearances last season, including one of those coming from the start. And what he is an offensive midfielder. He has played a little bit of football as well off to the left-hand side. He's somebody who does look to go forward. And of course, given the fact that he did spend so much time at La Masia, he is no stranger whatsoever to the traditional Barca style of play and what we want from our young players. And apparently there, according to ESPN in Spain, he's going to sign for Barca B at first, although he is expected to be given a number of opportunities there in terms of training with the first team and also some potential chances to make that step up if and when he can earn it. But it's interesting there to see a player coming in, an exciting young player still. He's still very, very young, and he'll be joining Barca B this summer. Keep an eye on RuizAtil. So please, guys, do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like I say, Messi's contract situation, it's not exactly comforting to any of us right now, and I think we'd all like that announcement to come sooner rather than later. I'm sitting around waiting, thinking, come on, I want to do this video. I want to do the video there announcing that Messi is going to be staying. That, I hope, guys, will be coming to you soon, but stay calm. Let's listen to Laporta. They've got it under control, and it should be all done very soon. I will see you then, of course, and until then, there'll be plenty more videos to come. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.